Hello and welcome to another wilderness tamed video. It's another pond job, but it's a renovation. An existing pond in a public garden that has developed a leak, and it's turned into a nightmare. So initially thinking that this was some rock work over a lined pond, as in butyl or PVC plastic lined. Quick strip out, empty, reprofile, redo, set the rocks back in. No, it's becoming a living hell. The rocks that I could see above the waterline when I first came to visit actually extend iceberg-like 2/3 down below the waterline. Some enormous boulders in here, and it's concrete lined, and some of the stones at the bottom are fixed into that concrete, and they're not budging, at least not with the machine I've managed to get through the very narrow pedestrian gateway. It's the first digger that was delivered, too big to get through, so we had to get a smaller one, which doesn't really have the grunt to shift the boulders much more than a sort of nudging them around a bit. So there's been a fair amount of crowbar levering, swearing, sweating, and yes, bladder loosening, strain and stress going on. But we think we're getting there. I'm into day 4. I have had helpers on board with me, which you'll see. I'm doing this as a sort of a back thing, because yeah, this is me by myself on the 4th day, and I've got to get the level right so that the rocks and the plants are sitting in the water, rather than having the usual sort of pond thing is to have the rocks sat maybe with a bit of an overhang, you know, in the sort of semi-formal crazy paving style around the edge of a pond type effect. But that always means that from whatever angle you're viewing the pond at, you can see under that lip, and you can see some VPL, visible pond liner. So the idea with this is to, as you've seen in previous videos that I've done, and other good pond installers, they'll always sit the rocks on a shelf that means the rocks are half exposed by the water. So if the water level drops and rises naturally with evaporation and rainfall, you shouldn't see any exposed liner. And without importing several ton of soil, there's not enough on site to disguise the liner completely with soil and stuff. So we're going to have to rely on, once the plants are in, that they spread enough to disguise the horror story that lies beneath. So unfortunately the liner has had to go in over a lot of the large boulders in the bottom and up the sides of the pond, again just because physically too big to move, but concreted in place anyway. It's not ideal, it's not what I would have liked. Like I say, I was hoping for a complete strip out. Not going to happen. But the key thing is, from the client's point of view, they want a pond that holds water. So we've gone double thickness on the underlay felt, double thickness on the liner, which is a millimetre thick butyl liner anyway, so good hard stuff, and then another layer of felt on top of that, as per usual. And the felt is actually quite good. It's a non-woven fabric. It's very, very tough, and but it does allow plant roots to penetrate it. So it forms a sort of a mat. It allows the pond plants, the marginals and things, to spread naturally and cover the sides as they would on a silt or soil covered pond edge. So a couple of years' time it should all look good. Stay tuned for a couple of years' time. Oh, well, that was disappointing.
Oh, that's a real shame, wasn't it?
Try and lift the one you're standing on whilst you're standing on it.
I know. I don't know why, but I was trying to be so careful not getting mud on myself. Like, that's not going to happen. You know what's it when you start to be clean? Yeah. You know. Yeah, man. The driver skills pay the bills.
So sadly, this is not an ancient archaeological find, but it's something we've come across just a ridiculous number of times in this pond. This is a plastic plant basket, one of the perforated ones. And you can see, if I pan up, the soil level, pretty much where that flat cobble's sitting on. So this thing has been planted about 30 centimetres deep in the soil with a plant in it. I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but the first thing I do if I buy a plant in a pot, I take the pot off, or the plant out of the pot, before I plant it in the ground. So what the thinking was behind this, I have no idea. And we, as I say, have dug out maybe, I don't know, 30 of these, all buried really deeply at various positions around and in the pond. well, not in the pond, but around the very edge of the pond, sometimes wedged in between huge rocks. Just a complete and utter nonsense. So I don't know who's responsible for that, but they need a clip around the ears. So I've got to dig all of these out because obviously I don't want sharp bits of plastic underneath the pond liner. I mean, I know I've got two layers of this underfelt, which as you can see about 1 millimetre thick, maybe it's a little bit more, underneath. But still, I mean, why are people burying pots? Well, not even pots, planting baskets, pond baskets. Just ridiculous. Anyway, a quiet rant over.